The girl and the stranger's colony lay in ruins. Smoke rose from shattered homes, the air thick with the bitter smell of fire and metal. Silence ruled the streets, broken only by the distant crack of falling stone and the faint cries of those still hiding. Daniel Cross, a human soldier, walked slowly through the broken roads, his rifle in hand, his eyes sharp. He had fought through too many battles, and this place looked no different from the others, burned, broken, and filled with sorrow. But then he heard it, a soft sound, small, weak, carried on the wind. It was not the shout of a soldier, not the growl of raiders, but the cry of a child. Daniel froze, his heart tightening, and turned toward the sound. From behind a cracked wall of stone, a little figure stumbled into view. It was a girl, no older than 7, her dress torn, her hair tangled, her face smudged with dust. Her skin glowed faintly in the dim light, a shimmer that was not human, her eyes wide and bright like tiny stars. She looked at him, frightened, but when she saw the human soldier, her fear softened into something else, hope. "Protector," she whispered, her voice trembling. "You came back." Daniel lowered his rifle slowly, his voice steady. "Who are you, little one? Where is your family?" The girl clutched a broken doll to her chest, shaking her head. "They are gone. I am alone." Her small hands reached for him, desperate. "Please, do not leave me." Daniel felt his chest ache. The soldier in him wanted to keep moving, to survive. But the human in him could not walk away. He knelt down, offering his hand, his voice gentle. "I won't leave you, not now." The girl took his hand quickly, clinging to him as if her life depended on it. Together they moved through the ruins. Daniel gave her food from his pack, watching her eat with small, hungry bites. When raiders appeared at the edge of the street, he lifted his rifle, firing sharp and fast, protecting her with steady hands. The girl clung to his side, her eyes wide but trusting, never letting go of him. And for the first time in years, Daniel felt something he thought he had lost a reason. Beyond war, they hid in an old shelter through the night. The little girl sat close to him, her head resting against his arm as she whispered softly, "You are strong, like the men in my mother's stories." Daniel looked down at her, his voice low. "What is your name?" She smiled faintly, her eyes glowing in the dark. "My name is Arya." He nodded, whispering, "Sleep, Arya. I'll keep watch." Before her eyes closed, she whispered again, "My mother will thank you. She will find you. She will know what you have done." Daniel frowned slightly, but said nothing. He thought the girl's mother was gone like so many others, taken by the flames of war. But he let her words be her comfort as she drifted into sleep, her small hands still holding his. The night stretched long, but Daniel stayed awake, guarding her as if she were his own blood. Days passed, and Daniel continued to hide with Arya in the ruins. They found food where they could, moved when danger drew near, and survived together. The bond between them grew, silent but strong, like a chain forged in fire. Daniel began to think that maybe the girl would never see her family again. But Arya's words stayed in his mind. "My mother will find you." On the 4th night, when the stars burned bright above the broken colony, it happened. Daniel heard footsteps, soft, careful, not like raiders or soldiers. Arya's head lifted quickly, her eyes glowing with sudden joy. "She's here," the little girl whispered, running forward, her voice breaking. "Mother." From the shadows, a tall figure stepped into the light. It was a woman, her beauty breathtaking, her presence graceful and commanding. Her skin glowed faintly like her daughter's, her violet eyes shining with both sorrow and hope. Her long hair shimmered like silver threads, flowing over her shoulders. Her clothing torn yet still carrying the marks of royalty. She rushed to Arya, falling to her knees, holding the child tight, tears glowing on her cheeks. "My daughter," she whispered, "you are safe. You are alive." Arya smiled through tears, pointing at Daniel. "He saved me, Mother. He gave me food. He fought the bad men. He never left me." The woman lifted her head, her glowing eyes locking on Daniel. She rose slowly, tall and elegant. Her face filled with gratitude and something more. She bowed her head, her voice soft but powerful. Human, you not only saved my child, you saved me, for without her, I am nothing. Daniel stood still, unsure, his voice quiet. I only did what anyone should. But the woman shook her head, stepping closer, her eyes burning with emotion. No, she whispered. You did what no one else dared. You gave her hope. You gave her life. Her hand brushed her daughter's hair. Then she looked at him again, her words trembling. And now, by the law of my people, by the bond you made with my child, I must beg of you. Daniel frowned, his heart heavy. Beg what? Her voice broke with both strength and desperation. Be her father, be my husband, be the bond that protects us forever. The words struck Daniel harder than any battle, harder than any blade. The ruined colony seemed to fade into silence around him. The soldier who had lost everything now stood at the center of a destiny he never asked for. And before him stood a woman of otherworldly beauty, with eyes full of truth, begging for more than gratitude, begging for a bond that would change his life forever. A bond beyond worlds. Daniel Cross stood frozen, his rifle heavy in his hands. The words from the alien woman echoed in his mind like thunder. Be her father, be my husband, be the bond that protects us forever. He had faced death many times, but nothing had ever struck him this hard. The battlefield was one thing, but this was life itself asking him to choose. The little girl Arya clung to her mother's side, her glowing eyes wide with hope. Please, protect her, she whispered, her small voice trembling. Stay with us, don't leave us. Daniel's heart tightened. He had promised her safety. He had fought for her, and now she was asking him to fight in another way. He looked at the woman again, her beauty shining even in the ruins, her face carrying both strength and sorrow. Her name was Serenia, and she was unlike anyone he had ever met. Daniel lowered his rifle slowly, his voice rough. Why me? Why ask this of me? Serenia stepped closer, her eyes glowing, her voice steady but filled with emotion. Because you already choose, human, when you saved my daughter, when you stayed with her through fire and blood. In our law, that bond cannot be broken. You are already part of us. Daniel's chest burned, his mind racing. But I'm just a soldier. I don't belong here. I don't even know your people. Serenia's lips curved into a faint, sad smile. You belong where your heart has chosen, and my daughter's heart has chosen you. The silence stretched, heavy with destiny. But the world did not give them time to decide. The sound of engines roared in the distance, human dropships circling above the ruins, their searchlights cutting through the smoke. From the other side, alien war machines marched closer, their glowing red eyes burning in the night. Serenia's face hardened, her voice sharp. They have come, both sides. They will not stop until we are taken, until you are gone. Daniel's grip tightened on his weapon, his voice steady. Then we make our stand. The dropships landed, human soldiers spilling out, their rifles raised, their commander shouting, Captain Cross, step aside, hand over the alien and the child. That's an order. Daniel shook his head, his voice like steel. Not this time, sir. The commander's eyes narrowed, his weapon aimed. Then you are a traitor. At the same time, alien warriors appeared from the smoke, their blades glowing with red fire, their leader hissing in their tongue, return the hybrid, or be cut down. The battlefield was no longer human versus alien. It was everyone versus them. Serenia held her daughter close, her voice low. You see, Daniel, haunted by two worlds, we have no place. Daniel stepped in front of them, his stance firm. Then I'll make one. The first shots rang out, blue rifles blazing from the humans, red blades slashing from the aliens. Daniel fired back, his bullets cutting through the smoke, his movements fast and sharp. Serenia raised her hand, the mark on her skin glowing bright, and the ground shook beneath them. Walls of stone rose from the earth, blocking fire, shielding them from both sides. Arya cried out, her small hands clutching her mother's gown. But Serenia held her close, whispering, "Do not fear. Little star, we are not alone." Daniel reloaded quickly, firing through gaps in the stone, forcing the attackers back. But he knew they could not hold forever. The numbers were too many, the armies too strong. They needed more than weapons. They needed something greater. Serenia's mark glowed brighter, her body trembling. "I can end this," she whispered, her eyes glowing like fire. "The power inside me, I can use it. But if I do, I may not return. I may lose myself." Daniel looked at her, his voice sharp. "No. You're not a weapon. You're not there. Tool, you're Lyra's mother. You're her hope." Her lips trembled, tears shining. "And if hope costs my life," Daniel shook his head, his voice strong, "then we'll find another way, together." But the enemies pressed closer, the humans and aliens alike surrounding them. Serenia's breath came heavy, her power trembling like a storm ready to break. Daniel stood firm, shouting above the chaos, "You want them? You'll have to kill me first." The soldiers hesitated, their weapons still aimed. But his voice carried like iron. In that moment, Daniel Cross was not just a soldier. He was a wall. And then it happened. Arya stepped forward, her small hand glowing, the same mark as her mother burning on her skin. Sir Enyer gasped, her eyes wide with fear. "No, not you, child, not yet." But Arya's voice was calm, her gaze steady. "Protector is with us. I am not afraid." The mark's light spread, flowing from the girl to her mother, and then into Daniel. The bond ignited. A wave of energy burst outward, blinding the battlefield in white light. The humans dropped their rifles. The aliens fell to their knees, their weapons useless. The ground shook, the air burned, the ruins glowed as if the stars themselves had fallen upon the colony. Daniel felt the power flow through him, not as fire, but as strength, as trust, as unbreakable unity. Serenia's eyes widened as she felt it too, her voice trembling. "The bond is complete. You are one with us now." Daniel's breath caught, but his voice was steady. "Then let them see it. Let them know we're not afraid." The armies watched in silence, their fear breaking, their leaders trembling. The prophecy they feared had risen, not through force, but through trust. A human, an alien mother, and a child, standing together, bound as one. The soldiers backed away, their weapons lowering, their commanders shouting in panic. No one dared to strike. No one dared to defy what they had seen. Serenia's voice rose, strong and clear. "We are no longer hunted. We are no longer divided. We are family, and we will not be broken." Her words echoed through the ruins, carry on the wind. For the first time, both armies hesitated, unsure, afraid not of death, but of change. When the light faded, the battlefield lay silent. The soldiers of both sides pulled back, leaving the ruins behind. Sir Enya knelt beside Arya, holding her close, her tears falling like stars. "You are stronger than I ever knew, little one." Arya smiled softly, her glowing eyes looking up at Daniel. "Protector stayed. He will always stay." Sir Enya rose, her gaze meeting Daniel's, her voice soft but firm. "She is right. You are already our bond. Now be more. Be family." Daniel's chest was heavy, his heart pounding. He had come here as a soldier, ready to die for orders. But those orders had been broken. He looked at Serenier, at Arya, at the bond that glowed faintly between them, and he understood. This was not about war anymore. This was about life, about love, about unity. He lowered his rifle, his voice steady. "Then I will be, not because of law, not because of prophecy, but because I choose it." Serenia's eyes filled with tears, her lips trembling into a smile. Arya clapped her small hands, her voice bright. "Protector is our family now." The ruins still burned, the war still raged beyond the horizon. But here, in this moment, something greater was born. A bond that no army could break, no law could deny, no fear could silence. A bond beyond worlds. A bond of trust, a bond of family. Daniel stood tall, his hand holding Serenia's, his other hand resting on Arya's small shoulder. The human, the alien mother, and the child, united not by blood, but by choice. The galaxy would remember this day, not as the day of war, but as the day when two worlds touched and refused to let go. Serenia whispered softly, her voice like music, "You are no longer only human. Daniel Cross, you are ours forever." And Ethan Soldier, protector, neighbor, husband looked at them both and whispered, "Forever, asterisk."